Hi everyone, my name is Paulinha, and today I'm very happy to be here with Susannah.
Hi.
We are here at the Living Miracles Monastery, and just feels so inspiring to hear Susannah's journey and share a little bit of her stories with you. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here, and yeah, maybe we can start from the beginning. How your journey starts with the course, with David? Maybe you want to share with us.
Sure. Well, I think as long as I can remember, I feel like I was looking for something more in the world and just finding that somehow I didn't feel like I fit, or I didn't find like a real joy, and just believing that was there, but I just wasn't in touch with it. But I don't know, I remember having this thought of it must be possible to be happy all the time. It must be. And then everybody would tell me, no, you get the good with the bad, but some part of me never believed that. But I think my mom and my aunt were a vital part of my journey. I was really close with them, and they were on a spiritual journey searching for the same joy and the same happiness and the same answers to this world. And they found the Course, so I just heard them share about it and talk about it, and just listening in on their conversations and feeling yeah, that sounds true. For the first time something resonates, something answers all the questions that I've ever had about the world, satisfactorily. How do you say it? It felt real, but it took a while before I actually got into it myself. When it comes to practicing, I was just observing a lot and listening and feeling yeah, this feels true. And then at a certain point, I think my mom bought me the Course, and I tried to read it and fell asleep. But
that's good. Who never?
Yeah, it was a lot of resistance, especially when it came to the workbook lessons and the text. Actually, all of it, except the first paragraph, the introduction of the Course. And when I read that, I'm I knew, this is it. This is what I've been looking for. These are the answers to all my questions. And it just resonated, this is true. So I knew I'd found it, but there was still a lot of resistance to actually, practicing it in my own life. And at a certain point, I was in a relationship which was kind of dramatic and intense and pretty bad. And my mom would just send me these videos, to all these different Course teachers, to hey, listen to this one, listen to that. And I would ignore most of them, except for David. When David came through, I listened to a video of David, and I'm yeah, this is it. This is the guy that proves to me that you can be happy, and I was right after all. It is possible to be truly, truly happy. And it's you just feel it, you just feel it when you see him and listen to him, and it brought me a lot of comfort. So I started listening to David and nobody else, actually. She would send me all these other videos, and it just didn't interest me at all. But yeah, that's how I got to know David, through YouTube videos, and I would just listen to it a lot, and it bring me so much comfort. And then I really got more into practicing the Course myself. Yeah.
Beautiful.
That's the start.
And how you got here, for a retreat? I think you did the mystery school was the first time? No,
I was already here by then.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, actually, this dovetails straight into when that relationship ended, or just about ended. I just come from a flight. I just landed in Holland, and my mom had signed me up for a retreat with David because he was going to be in Holland for a few days, and so she signed me up for that retreat, and that was like the biggest gift of my life. Like, just knowing that nothing was going to be the same again. That was when I first met David, and that was, it was such a true recognition in my heart. It was so powerful. Like, this is my life. But then again, it took another 1.5 years or something before I finally took the step to come to the community. So that was like my first retreat, and that's where I met David and Francis, and I think Kirsten was there. And then the year after that, he came back to Holland. And by that time we'd had a few calls, and I was coming to the retreat and just talking about like next steps. Like, I want to take a next step. And then I think just a month after that retreat, I ended up in the community they had at the time in Spain. And I had no idea how long I was going to stay. Not at all. I don't think I even thought about that when I went. I was just thinking about I'm going to go and arrive there. and then I never really left. It kind of took off from there. Spain, and then Mexico, and then the US, and then Mexico, and then back to the US. And
beautiful. You had like different phases in the community, right? I think it's good if you can share a little bit about your this journey in the community. I think that could be very helpful for those are like taking these steps, and like really be very honest and transparent about because like how it really looks like to go towards this way of living.
What do you mean with phases?
Like as you said, like you had this time in Spain, and then Mexico, and then US, and then Mexico, and then now US again.
Well, I think when I just arrived in Spain, this is kind of like I'm swept off my feet type of experience. It was all so new. I had no idea what the community was really about. I was actually really afraid of the expression sessions, which is a lot of times what draws people here. And I was like, oh no, anything but that. But I got into service, and that really resonated. Like, finally, like, I've been trying to study, I've been trying to work, I was trying so many things in the world, and I just didn't know why. Like, there wasn't a purpose to it, and I couldn't bring up the energy to do it. I'm just so tired all the time, just like sleeping all night, and then naps during the I just very depressed actually. And then when I got to the community and just hearing like what that's all about and what I'm doing things for, I really felt the purpose, and so strong, like, wow, I'm part of something bigger, and it has a purpose, a real purpose, something that I can really stand behind, and I can feel it in my heart. And I feel like that was such a big shift for me. Like, even physical symptoms disappeared, like just getting into function, and the tiredness left, and I got so lit up like I've never been, and just a feeling of I'm home, which I'd never felt before. Always kind of looking for that home or trying to make a home, and it never really happened until I found that purpose and the people in it. And so that was a really lit up time, just discovering everything for the first time, and feeling the benefits of just following, because like in the community, and just as Jesus talks about it in the Course, it's just about listen and follow, pray, listen and follow, and that is such a deep practice in the community. And that's all that I was stepping into, was just following whatever my brother would ask, like a trusted brother. I would just follow, and it brought me so much joy, so much happiness, and it was really powerful. And I think I feel like that element doesn't disappear. It just gets stronger and stronger, like the more willing we are to follow the Holy Spirit. But so that was like, yeah, like a first phase. And then pretty soon I met Jeffrey, who I ended up marrying, and that was a lot of intensity, just like exposing thoughts and being really transparent and not holding back. Like in the world, you might try and please your partner, or try and make them like you, and this wasn't about that. It was about, no, share your heart fully and be completely transparent. So that brought up quite a bit of intensity for both of us. So that was another phase, just a lot of exposing and going towards what's uncomfortable, and just keep coming and keep going to the relationships that are given you, even when it gets intense, even when it feels like you have to say something just to expose it, like just to say it, to let it go, even when you're feeling unwilling. And just to trust that, no, it is given. This is given for me as a solution, as an answer to everything, even when it doesn't feel like it, or like the last thing you'd want to do. And then experiencing the miracles on the other side, and just keep coming and keep coming. And so I feel like, that was a big phase as well. And it continues to be. Like, I feel all of these phases, they don't really end or something. Like, it keeps going for me still. And and then actually getting more into collaborations now. And just being so linked up with whoever is given in my project, or as a link that, just really letting go of all the blocks that stand in between the relationship. Because if the relationship isn't clear, the function won't flow, and it won't work, and it will just get blocked, and it's uninspiring and heavy, and then you're just doing something, and
no purpose at all.
no purpose at all. So then it's just like, okay, well, what's the purpose? To clear the blocks, to forgive and go towards each other until just there's I feel like it's something so amazing that happens, like just joining in mind so deeply that you're one mind and you're actually telepathic or something. And I love that. That's very inspiring to me, to collaborate so deeply with someone that, and that you feel instantly when something's off or something's blocking, and you can address it right away, or expose the thought, or just pause and like, we're not on the same page, and
let's just talk and be open and transparent.
Yeah,
beautiful. Maybe we can talk more about this, because everything I think about you, I think about collaboration, about relationship. And I was given to you, right, when I was in Mexico. Was like, I don't know, was beautiful experience we had together, like living at QDS for a while. And I learned a lot from you about this was simple. It didn't look like a project, but we, I don't know, somehow we joined, and and have no words to say. So maybe you can share more about what do you learn about relationships, being like in the community, and talk more about the collaboration. I feel that it's a beautiful topic.
Yeah. Well, I feel like it's kind of the core of this path somehow. It is a path of relationships. Like, it is a pathway to God, to let go everything that's in between. And like Jesus talks about your brother so many times. It's like, you are free when you free your brother. You're forgiven when you forgive your brother. It's like, it's not a solo journey. And I feel like the community is just such a symbol of that. And it is symbolic, because in the end, there's one mind, there aren't all these bodies, but like, I don't know, just to get to the place to accept that, like to actually acknowledge, well, I still believe there are bodies, I still believe there are people, so let's, like how the spirit can repurpose anything the ego's made for healing. And I feel like it's such a strong core of this path, and just the practice in the community. And that's why we have collaborations, that's why we live together, that's why we have we join with people, just because that's where you see the blocks, like your brothers mirror everything that isn't that needs to be healed. And it's such a quick way to see where you're at.
Yes.
And I would say, especially in a romantic or intimate relationship, it's very strong, and it's in
Big
your
mirror.
face. Yeah, you can't avoid it. You really can't. And to be honest, I feel like just even living together full time in this community with a purpose like that, you can't avoid it either. It's in your face, and you're gonna deal with it. But it's a good thing, I feel. And I think there's just such a joy when those blocks get cleared. It's just such a joy. Like you can't even experience that alone. Like even that is shared. It's like the miracle is such a shared experience somehow. And like that's what we want to experience. That's the goal. The goal is miracles. Like we set the goal for miracles, and then it's, I don't know, it brings such joy. And I feel like we use these collaborations and the relationships just really for the mind training, and the mind training to release the blocks, and to watch the mind and see where you want to avoid, see where you want to people please, see where you don't speak up, see where you want to control. Like everything is going to come up. And
when you are projecting.
Yeah.
Or when someone is projecting onto you, right?
Yeah.
You see everything.
Yeah, all emotions will get flushed up, all beliefs will get touched on, and just, like brought up to be released. And that's the only purpose. Like it's coming up to be released. And it can be really intense, but it's such a blessing because you don't want it in your mind.
Mm-hmm.
And it just takes a lot of mind training, I feel, just even using the relationships. And that's why we do these projects. That's why we do the collaborations. Just so that, you really get to see what's in your mind and address it and do it together. Yeah. I love it.
I know. It's beautiful. And how was it for you? Like, I mean, giving your intimate relationship with Jeffrey, like a marriage, to the spirit, like really using it for healing the mind. I think we can talk more about this because it's beautiful to repurpose this and to watch it, like what you did.
Yeah. Well, what comes to mind is that it wasn't a one-time decision. Mm-hmm. I had to decide over and over and over and over again to give it to the Spirit, because in one way, it's like when you give it to the Spirit, it's done. You can trust that. Like even when Jesus talks about the journey's already over, it's done. So there isn't really anything for you to do except remember. Like remember the truth and remember your decision and remember to listen to the Holy Spirit and rather than the ego's voice in that moment. But I feel it's just this ongoing decision.
Sometimes we took it back.
Yeah.
Right now, Jesus.
Oh, so many times. Because there's so many preferences. There's so many ideas about what relationship is and what it should be and what it shouldn't be and what's acceptable and what isn't and what's loving and what isn't. There's so many beliefs. But the thing is, it would never work very long. And I feel like that just shows the purpose that was set at the start. So if at any point I would put the relationship first in my life, things wouldn't work out very well. It would get very messy. I would get very unhappy, and it's like, okay, remember what the relationship is for, and I had to let it go again. I'm like, oh no, healing is first. Even, certain given links in the community where I would feel, they were given as my primary link in a way, like, just to say that that's where my clarity would come from. That's where I would feel such a strong connection with the Holy Spirit. Because in a relationship, you're very invested. So you're not a real reliable witness.
Yeah.
So we would always have a third person who would be clear, So that I had to put that first. The desire for clarity, the desire to hear the Holy Spirit, rather than, oh no, I'll just use this relationship to be like comfortable and meet my needs and whims and whatever I want. So it's a continual practice to hand it over, and again and again and again, and certain times it was easier than other times, certain times it was quicker than other times, but I feel like that is what it's really for, just to see where there are attachments and where you want something from someone rather than you're here to give without any expectation, like to give like God gives. And rather than like I'm here to try and get something from you, and that I feel is just something that gets washed away more and more and more. But yeah, that's like a big one.
Beautiful. Yeah, and it takes faith. I mean, because if you really do that, like remember to give it to the Spirit like all the time, like the intensity will come, and like it takes faith. I feel that too. Hanging on and trust that it's all right. I mean, it's for this, right?
Yeah, it's tempting to think like, something about, okay, we both made this commitment to the Spirit, we're giving the relationship to the Spirit, and now everything's gonna be just so fun and sweet
just
and
happy
loving.
dream now.
Yeah, and it's just, no, it's not. Like, I feel like that just sets the foundation for all the unconscious to come up, and it's safe and it's held in that purpose. That's the only way it can come up, because otherwise it would be way too fearful.
Yeah.
So I feel like, but then you're in that together, just reminding each other of the purpose, and just keep wanting to go towards the healing. And it's a real support as well. It's a very deep commitment to heal together, I feel. Whether a romantic relationship or any relationship, it doesn't matter.
Just friends or with everyone. I mean,
like it really comes down to the purpose of the relationship. It doesn't matter the form, but what's the purpose?
Yeah. And how was it? I don't know if you know, but maybe you can recognize Susannah from the Take Me Home movie we shared like a few years ago in a deep retreat we had, and we are working on
another collaboration
here to put it out in Portuguese for you. But I remember that in the movie, like even like getting married was like guided, like was from Spirit. How was it? Like it's good maybe share like how that happened, because I think that it's like different from like from the decisions in the world that we are used to see, even like in regular movies. People fell in love and all these things. It was different, and I felt so beautiful. Can you share a little bit?
Yeah. Well, I like one of the practices that one of the practices that we have in the community in general is something about not making decisions by yourself, which is a symbolic of, like the rules for decision. Today I will make no decisions by myself, meaning I want to make the decisions with the Holy Spirit. The brother, like everyone here is like a symbol of the Holy Spirit, and we want to pray together and hear the one voice, not multiple Holy Spirits. And both Jeffrey and I had a very deep prayer, just even prior to knowing each other, but just something about I don't want to pick my partner anymore. I'm not doing a good job. It's not brought me.
I did that too. It worked.
Yeah.
It's very powerful.
Yeah.
Let the spirit decide, right?
Yeah, because so far my choices haven't brought me joy. It hasn't brought me the happiness of what I was looking for. So I'm like, okay, I resign. This is up to you now. And so in different ways we had the same prayer, and then at a certain point, just feeling really drawn to each other, feeling like this attraction that came out of nowhere, and it felt really strong. But then it's like, okay, well, let's expose the thoughts. Let's be transparent and share the thoughts with the group that we live with, because we don't make decisions by ourselves, and we don't pick our partner. We don't. Like, we want to know what is truly the Holy Spirit's guidance, what is going to be serving the whole, which includes me, which includes Jeffrey, but everybody. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, we just, when that came up, it was just sharing it with the group, and just, it was even a question at a certain point, like, well, does that feel given by the Holy Spirit, or does it not? And the first answer was no, actually, it does not feel guided. So, then we both had to face the letting go, and it's okay. Trying to make peace with that, and still sharing the thoughts, like being really transparent and real about what's true in the moment for our experience. And then at a certain point, David came to hold a retreat, and I think the private thoughts, the exposed private thoughts had reached him at some point. And then Jeffrey and I were bringing him to the airport. Actually, I was bringing Jeffrey and David to the airport at the time, and David just brought it up, like, so I heard you guys want to be together. I'm like, and he's like, well, it feels good. You have my blessing. Like, it was just, but it was essential for us that it came from a symbol like David, because we were both so set on, I'm not making this decision. It's not coming through me. And David was a trusted symbol for both of us.
I need a clear mind.
Yeah, I need a clear mind, a very Holy Spirit channeled, response, because I'm not going to trust what comes from me. Mm-hmm. Like, that's where I was at. Like, I don't trust myself with relationships. I'm not trusting that again. It would just be the Spirit. And so, yeah, that's how that happened. And then it got right away into, okay, well then, needs a commitment. So everything happened backwards. Like, I never was on a date with him first and see if I like him, or nothing like that. We lived together, first of all. We collaborated together, and then we got engaged.
Yeah, it was backwards.
Yeah.
Really. let's live together, and then beautiful.
Yeah.
So
and then we had our first kiss, and then, it's like, it's not even, the commitment had to come first, which was interesting for me. And I'd never wanted to get married, so when that got brought up, I'm like, okay, we're for real now. This is like a real leap of faith. Am I going to trust the Spirit in this? And yeah.
Yeah, it is beautiful. Yeah. I don't know why, but it came to mind that part in the Course that Jesus talks about relationships, and that there are 3 different levels, but there's no level, but we believe them. So yeah, I think, like, when I read this for the first time, I was like, oh my God, is that so simple? Like, because when you think about marriage, or even like partnership or friendship, like, I don't know, it's so heavy. Like we think about, I don't know, there's like many things in that boxes that we put, like some relationships, and for Jesus it's just like an assignment. Like, okay, so you two have the perfect match to learn and teach, and that's it. Like, perfect match to learn and teach. was like, whoa, it's that simple. And like it helped me a lot to understand like the cycles of the relationship, because I wasn't good with like ending relationship at all. Like, was really hard for me. I always felt betrayed, and I don't know, like this intensity. But when I saw that, I was like, wow, it's beautiful. It's just this, like, it's assignment. When it's complete for now, and that's it. And you and Jeffrey is like ending this cycle now, right? Can you share a little bit? How is it for you?
Yeah. Well, it's been quite the process. It's actually been probably the most intense period for both of us. But also just with a lot of miracles and a deeper connection and a deeper love that was never accessible before or something. But yeah, at this point we're going through a divorce and just feeling guided that the relationship is over in this form. Like in the heart, I don't feel it is. But yeah, just like even when you bring that up, it's like, yeah, the assignment is done in this form. It's complete. And yeah, I don't know, mission accomplished or something.
Yeah.
And so yeah, it's hard to say. It's been really intense for many months. It's like for both of us. But I had a prayer where I just wanted to feel a deeper commitment in our relationship. I wanted to feel deeper connection and deeper communication. Now I feel like I got that.
It's so beautiful that when you share this, it's like, oh my God, it's a miracle. It's beautiful because it doesn't matter the form. Like what really matters is this connection, and like you feel that the commitment, the connection, it's like deeper now.
Yeah.
With the divorce.
Yeah.
Isn't that like, this is so beautiful.
It took a while to get to that.
I know.
Like just even in my own mind to accept that, because for me, I wanted that. That was my prayer, but I wanted it, in the marriage. So I'd set my heart on the form. Like I decided the form that I wanted, and like even the quote in the Course, like when I decide upon the form of what I want, I lose all understanding of the purpose. And it's like, okay, yeah, I can see that now. But there's so much attachment and so much identity somehow that as like now I'm a married person, like that's my identity or something. And it's been a very deep unwinding and letting go of a lot of beliefs around unworthiness, abandonment, betrayal, rejection. Like it's been a really deep time. And but like even the way everything got orchestrated, it was for us to have a deeper transparency. It was for us to deepen in that communication, and we really did. And I feel like I think it just showed that through it all, like both of our prayer was still healing, and the purpose was still there, very, very strong. And yeah, here we are now. Like I don't even know where we are, but it's happening step by step, and just wanting to deepen in the connection and pray together and really have nothing stand in the way of that relation. Like no blocks, like even what we talked about earlier, just that's really what it's for. And it took me a long time to accept that, yeah, this is actually what I want as well. Like I was so attached to the form, so attached to what I thought I wanted and needed, and it just wasn't happening. So it was like a conflict. And then, yeah, it took me a while, but now I feel like this is what's in my heart. I'm in agreement, full agreement that this is the guidance, and then everything got way smoother when I lined up. Just even in terms of steps. And feeling joined rather than this is something that's done to me or someone's against me, I'm losing something. It's like, no, actually, I'm deepening my own commitment to my calling and my path, and this is just what it looks like. Yeah.
Beautiful. Wow.
It's hard to find the right words to describe this, actually.
But I can feel your heart sharing this, and it's enough.
Good.
I like that, actually, that you said, like, it just looked like this. Like, yeah, we'll be comfortable, whatever the form present to us, right?
Yeah.
Beautiful. Yeah, I don't know. Do you have something in your heart, like a topic or a message, something that you feel to extend here?
I don't really know, but I feel so inspired by this idea that your brother is your way home. And yeah, it's everything. It feels inspiring to use relationships in that way and to really go home together. Yeah.
Beautiful. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. It was really fun and beautiful. And thank you for joining us, and see you soon.